Hello, welcome to worshiptutorials.com. My name is Brian. This is a electric guitar tutorial for the song How Great Is Our God. And How Great Is Our God has been around a long time. I would consider it sort of a modern classic. I have to be honest, I have not sung this song in years, and a few weeks ago we scheduled it at my church and sang it, and it was awesome. People just instantly knew it. And we did a version of it that came out a few years ago from the the Essential Collection album, and it has a little bit different feel to it, which I really liked, and it sort of breathed a bit of a new life into the song, and it's actually really easy to play, almost exactly what I'm assuming it's Daniel Carson plays on the album on guitar. So I'm going to teach that to you today. Now on the album, it was in the key of D flat. I'm going to go ahead and just lower that one step and play it in the key of C. If you go to worshiptutorials.com, you can see a bunch of resources for this song. So you can see me play it on acoustic guitar and the chords follow me. You can see me playing what I'm about to teach you on electric guitar, so you can see how it all fits together. You can get chord charts and you can get tutorials and everything for it there. So yeah, head over to Worship Tutorials where you can see all that stuff. But like I said, we're in the key of C. Now, the beginning of this song it has this line that sort of repeats almost all the way through, and it goes like this. So let's talk quickly about what I'm playing. How can you get this sound? I am playing kind of a homemade Telecaster that I made, and I actually finished this one myself. It was a bit of an experiment. I really like the way it turned out. This has Porter 9T pickups in it, so it's kind of like a mash between Tele and P90 pickups, but really anything you got's going to work pretty well for this. Now, if you have a Helix, you're in luck because you can download this very patch that I'm using. It's based off a Matchless amp, and I'm going to use a little bit of drive for most of this song. Here's my clean sound. A little bit of drive. It's 78 BPM. I'm using a quarter note delay, so you hear that. I think that's a tape delay, if I'm not mistaken. I've got some big reverb on. If you're the only guitar player, I approach these lessons as if you're the only guitar player, electric guitar player in the band. So I'm going to kind of mix lead and rhythm together. This big reverb, you have to be careful. Reverb is really popular these days, and big modulated reverbs and delays, but you have to be careful with them because they can make your sound really muddy and bury it in a mix quick. So if you're playing kind of the single note stuff, you might like it, but you might want to turn it off when we start playing rhythm stuff. And I'm going to kick on this tube screamer sort of thing too. So if you're running an amp and pedals, you need a quarter note delay. You need to set your amp so that it'll break up pretty good when you hit it with a drive. And I kind of like have it. This is the bass sound for this song for me. So you can see it's almost pretty big to start with, but when you play these little notes, it kind of sounds clean, okay? So let's get started. To figure out, it's How Great Is Our God, so you probably know how this goes. Pretty much the whole way through. If you don't know the song, you can watch the acoustic tutorial. Now, to find melody parts in songs, I like to think of using the two sort of scales that are common to a key. So it would be the 1 major, in our case the C major scale, or the 6 minor, in this case the A minor scale. So the A minor scale is right here. And we're actually using notes right out of that scale. So it's, I like to think of it as, act like you're playing an A with just your first finger. There's A. If you move it up 1 fret, it's B flat. If you move it up another fret, it's B. If you move it up here, it's C. So if you just play these 3 notes, that's a C. So that's kind of our base where we're going to be. So I kind of leave this index finger planted across these 3 strings on the 5th fret. It's going to be the D, the G, and the B string. And then we're going to embellish a little bit with our other fingers. So your pinky kind of stays around the B string that looks like the 8th fret. And if you think about it, your index finger is going to be on the 5th, your middle finger is going to be on the 6th, your ring finger on the 7th, and your pinky on the 8th. So yeah, my pinky just kind of stays on the 8th, and then I'm also going to use my index finger on the 6th. And the pattern sounds like this. So you pluck the, I'll turn the delay off so it doesn't kind of muddy it up. So you pluck the G string twice on the 5th fret. Then you pluck the B string on the, what did I say, the 8th fret? So it's, and that last part is just you go down to the open 5 and pluck it, and then hammer onto the 6 and then pull off. I actually kind of like to hammer on and then pluck it again. So if you really slow that down, I'll kind of give you a close-up of my fingers. It looks like this. And that's it. And you really play that through the intro, the verses, and one of the choruses actually. So when you're playing the song and you turn that delay back on, you get this kind of a sound. Like I said, if you find that your sound is getting a little washed out or it's hard to hear it sort of in a mix, turn any big reverbs off and it will punch through just a little more and sound like this. And I'm in the middle pickup position for this part. So you really do that through the intro, the verses, and the rest of the band plays underneath you. Now for the chorus, it's actually the same, almost the same thing, but just slightly different. And this time it goes like this. I'll turn the delay off and show you. So it goes, you do the same thing with the G string on the 5th fret. And then you go. So you're kind of alternating between the G string and the B string, and then on the B string you're walking down from 8, 6, 7, or sorry, 5. 8, 6, 5. But you're alternating on the G string in between all of them, it sounds like. And I'll slow it down, it looks like this. And then when you play it at speed with the delay, it sounds like this. All right, so that is almost what he plays for all the choruses. Now, what I like to do, if I were playing this by myself on electric guitar, I would do that, and I wouldn't change my sound through the entire first verse, first chorus, and the first part of verse 2. Now, in verse 2, the drums come in, so kind of halfway through verse 2, and I think I did this in the playthrough video, I would switch to the bridge pickup. Anytime you go from middle to bridge, your sound's going to cut through just a little more, typically with most guitars, so it would go like this. Okay, you notice when I switched to the bridge, the sound kind of cut a little more. It didn't necessarily get louder, but it's going to feel more present, a lot more highs. And it actually, the higher frequencies will push your amp, so it will break up a little more, and it will be perceived to be a little louder, typically with bridge pickups. I always find it's a good idea when playing electric guitar to really use everything at your disposal. So you have on a Telecaster, you've got 2 pickups, so you can go neck, you can go middle, you can go bridge. You can vary your picking attack, you can play low strings, you can play the high strings. All of it's going to give you a wide variety, a wide range of tone and of sound that's going to really help your playing. feel nice and not very one-dimensional. You want to be multi-dimensional, especially if you're the only player in your band. So I would do that second half of that verse, and then when the chorus comes in, that's when I kick on the tube screamer. So so we're playing the verse, and then you'll hear it when I hit the drive and push the amp a little harder. Okay, and so in my opinion, that's going to be enough to give that chorus a lift, because when you push that amp and it drives harder, it sounds bigger and fuller. And you don't necessarily need to be hitting full chords. You're going to do that in just a little bit. So you come out of the chorus and you hit the bridge, and that's when we're going to play the big hits. So that's where you hear that. All that really is kind of like playing power chords. So you play a C, but you play it like you're playing a bar chord C right here. But really you just play 3 notes out of that whole thing. So it's your index finger on the 3rd fret, and then your 3rd and 4th fingers on the 5th fret. Index finger on the A string, 3rd and 4th fingers on the D and the G. So you're playing. And you can kind of mute the other strings with this finger. That's basically a power chord for a C. And it walks down, so C, and then a half step down to B, and then A minor. And I just play this open A minor. But really, you only want to hit these 3 strings. You don't want to hit them all. It's going to sound a little muddy. So it's, and then you let that ring. And then we're going to go from the A minor down to the F. And so the A minor is up here. This is an A minor bar chord. But again, we're just going to play these 3 notes. So your index finger on the low E string, 5th fret, and then your 3rd and 4th fingers on the 7th fret of the D, or the A and the D. And then you walk that down, so it would be A, then a full step, so 2 frets down, and then to F. So you go in A, G, F, back to G, and then C. And then when you play the bridge again, I just kind of play these power chords and strum them out, because this is where the song's big. To A, A minor, to F, to G, to C. And then there's a drop. So when you play it, you're going to be in the chorus. I'll turn everything on and show you how that sounds. So you're playing the last half of that chorus, and then we'll do the bridge. Okay, so that would have been the whole bridge, and then that leads you into sort of a little break, and then the chorus starts. And for that chorus, he actually plays that verse intro riff. So, how great. So it plays the chorus once, and then it does what I would call tag choruses. I like it because it's sort of a different melody using the same words. That how great is our God, how great. So for that part, I kind of switched to a rhythm kind of a thing, but it's really similar. So like I said, when you've got this I'll turn the delay off so I can show it to you a little easier. When you've got your that sort of bar across those 3 strings, you're playing a C, and then you can sort of embellish it. So really, if you mute the A string with your finger and mute the high E string, you've got a little room for error, so you can kind of strum, and you're still playing an A, but you can take your pinky up onto the 8th fret and play it like, or sorry, you're playing the C. You take your pinky up here, so it's, so all I'm doing is just playing that C chord, sort of that C voicing with my pinky up here, and then my dropping down to the middle finger on the 6th fret. This is all on the B string, and then open. But you'd be in the bridge pickup position by this point. So you do that over the C. You can do it again over the A minor. It's going to sound fine, especially when your band's playing it. And then you're going to play an F to a G. And so you're right here. All you got to do to play an F is play the top half of a C bar chord shape. So a C bar chord shape, if you have your finger on the 5th fret, looks like this. And it's an F. So you start from C all the way to F, okay? It's hard to play it in this shape, so if you don't play your pinky and all you do is just bar the 5th fret, put your ring finger on the B string on the 6th fret, which is where we've been. This is where we've lived sort of this whole song. Okay, so now you're just going to put your ring finger on the D string 7th fret. So that's your F. Then to play a G, you move it up 2 fret, and then back to this position for our C. So I basically play the last 2 big choruses just doing those shapes. And I turn on the tube screamer and the delay, and it sounds like this. So going into the how great, sounds like this. And it ends on that C, which is basically this kind of A shape up on the 5th fret. So that's it. How Great Is Our God? It's a really simple electric guitar part, but in my opinion, sort of breathes new life into the song. I hope this has been helpful for you. If you're just transitioning from acoustic to electric, which I know a lot of people that watch this channel have expressed the fact that they are, and I kind of am in the same boat with you, so we're learning this stuff together. But just make sure that you really vary your pick attack. Make sure that you kind of explore the different sounds on your guitar. You don't have to tap dance and turn on, 10 pedals to get one song. I'm really just turning a tube screamer on and off, and I'm playing this whole song that way, and just changing my pickup position and my pick attack and sort of what I'm playing on the fretboard and what strings I'm playing. And it really gives you just a wide variety of sound. So I hope that's helpful for you. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.